So I always intend to do a long garden tour weekly, and that has definitely not happened. It has been so long since I've done one. These videos, I think I probably make them more for myself than for other people because they don't get a lot of hits, but it is so fun for me to see the progress of everything. One of the things I did recently was just like sheet mulch here. This is a mixture of all kinds of like grass and plants and different things. There was a pile of wood from one of the cherry trees that we had taken down. So there's not a lot exciting here. There is, I have a little pawpaw tree here. I have these pots stacked beside it to try to give it some shade in the afternoon. When they're young trees, they like more shade, but when when they're producing fruit, they like more sun, so that's a little tricky to me. My neighbor shared all these peonies with me. He said if I dug them up, I could have them. And then I have some zinnias that I planted there. I threw a bunch of seeds everywhere, and there's not a ton that took. These are some of the sunflowers that I actually did scatter seeds intentionally for. I love this zinnia here. I feel like it's almost iridescent, like it's almost glowing. So pretty. The anise hyssop is kind of past its prime as far as beauty, but the goldfinches really love the seeds. I did cut a couple of them back to try to promote some new flowers and growth. You can see the bees are still enjoying the flowers, even though they're past the peak beauty, according to my eye. So this is really, I'm gonna step back a little bit just to give a perspective. It's just crazy how different this is from last year. Oh my goodness. I did cut back all my daisy heads, the garlic chives. I mean, that is such a huge clump of them. And what I hadn't noticed this in years past, but the pollinators really seem to like the garlic chives. There's all kinds of, I mean, I see 4 different bees visiting them right now. That's so exciting. And I love this sunflower is past its peak. It's about to be done. But I love how it planted itself right beside my neighbor's mailbox there. And then, have I shared my sign? My friend Barb gave me this sign, and I've gotten lots of comments on it about people liking it. That's fun. Here's this crazy big black-eyed Susan. I cut it back after the first bloom. You can see here, I cut it back and it did send up some more blooms. So that's fun. I'm not gonna take you inside right now. I've shared plenty of my watermelon. I put all the sunflowers, I was trying to cut them down so that I could have space to walk, but I've been leaning them against the trellis there so that hopefully the birds can still come and eat the seeds. The squirrels really like them too. I saw a squirrel this morning. Actually, let me show you. These are the watermelons I picked today. There's 4 of them. It's so crazy. But I saw a squirrel today running with a whole head of a sunflower in his mouth. So this was mostly sunflowers here. So many sunflowers. I just can't believe how they volunteered. They're actually doing road work on our road this week for the next few weeks. Which I'm not really showing that in the video, but some of the plants did get a little bumped by some of the stuff they were doing. The black-eyed Susans, more zinnias. These marigolds, these are the ones that came, the seeds originally came from my mom. These are many generations past, but I had planted some, well, some of them had volunteered at her house the spring and summer after she died, and I brought some of those home and they just keep reseeding themselves. More sunflowers. I think these are the few here that are in the camera right now are ones that I actually planted on purpose. And then here's my Baptisia. It's funny because at this point I can't even remember how many plants it is because they're all kind of together. I've got a little mum in a pot, which I don't know if that'll bloom or not. I don't think they're super happy in the pot. I think I need to move them. I've got some bee balm. There's also, so this is the bee balm here. But then there's a bloom, and that's apple mint. Let me see, that's apple mint there. And then, oh, this is the first time I've seen buds. I have Jerusalem artichoke, which I don't know if you're supposed to cut it back a little bit, but I haven't, and it's gigantic. I guess it's about 9 feet tall, maybe 8 feet tall. This sunflower was one of my favorites from this year. I haven't followed through to mark it so I can specifically save the seeds, but I'm hoping to. Got some obedient plant here. I actually love this combination of the fleabane with the obedient plant. And there's a little bee going to town there in the obedient plant. I love their little, just watching them go into the flowers. So fun. I read something recently that said that when the bees are going to plants, they tend to go all to the same plant, like the same type of plant. Here's the other side. Oh, there's a monarch on the zinnia there. I've seen several, but I don't think I've been able to record them yet. It's super fun. Oh, they're so pretty. I don't know how to tell if it's a male or a female. I also just learned that there is, I don't know if it's called the Viceroy or the Admiral, that looks similar to the monarch. So maybe it's not a monarch. Maybe it's one of those. It's a butterfly though. Another happy sunflower with a bee getting some pollen. These sunflowers and zinnias definitely have been browsed on by the deer, but I feel like my strategy is just to plant lots so that there's lots left. I love these unusual colored zinnias. I really like these white zinnias too. This is the first one that I've seen of over here, the white ones. I'm really pleased with all the different colors of zinnias that I have this year. All of the zinnias that I have are from saved seeds, so I had no idea what kind of colors I was gonna get. But that's all the zinnias here. You can see here on the end, all of these guys have been nibbled by the deer, but it seems like they like nibble here and then they kind of have left these other ones alone. So they're like the sacrificial zinnias. And then it just kind of goes to weeds. That's definitely an area that I need to work on, or I'd like to work on. I'm gonna take you inside the garden now. In my time walking over here, I noticed that there's a hummingbird hovering around. He's up above me though, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to capture him. So I guess this is the watermelon garden because it has effectively taken over 80% of the garden space here. Joel Salatin says that the definition of a farm is that it has a farmer. And I don't know if the definition of a garden is that it has a gardener. And obviously this has a gardener, but not a very disciplined gardener. So that watermelon has just kind of done its own thing. I think I shared how my dahlias have had some kind of something going on with them. The new growth that they have has seemed a lot healthier, so I'm thinking I should probably cut them back hard and then hope to just like to get some good blooms in the fall. So we'll see how that goes. I have the yarrow and the feverfew here. Well, this guy's blooming for the first time, and I meant to cut it, but I kind of missed it. So I'm probably gonna cut it and hopefully get another flush from it. We'll see. But this is the second flush of the feverfew that I had earlier, and then the yarrow. These snapdragons have been pretty happy. I've cut some of them, but when I cut them, they tend to like droop over. So I've been leaving more of them than cutting. This Cilicia, one of my friends gave me, and I actually was able to cut a bunch yesterday for cut flowers, but it is putting off some more blooms. This area all here, this is where all the sunflowers were growing that I just cut them back. And there's a bunch of volunteer red buds, and then I think that these are white pines that I'm hoping to give them to somebody this fall to dig them up. There's another pretty large one right there. And then this area, I've been calling this my orchard. It has a plum tree. I can't remember if it's a American plum or a different kind of plum. The plums were not very tasty, but I think it's supposed to have wildlife value, so I'm gonna see how it does. This is a little, well, there's a primrose there. I mean, I can see there's fleabane, there's violets, there's wood sorrel, there's obedient plant, and there's, did I say primrose already? But this guy is a plum that I started from seed. It died back. You can see it grew this much and then that all died. I probably didn't water it well enough. So we'll see if that does anything. I'm not quite sure. I've got my hydrangea. I have all this rhubarb that I planted. But this guy, I noticed I need to water him. I'm not sure if he made it or not. I'm not sure what this is. This is something I winter sowed. More hydrangeas. I have my oak leaf hydrangeas, and then it's funny because this is a perennial sunflower, and it tagged along for the ride when I transplanted this oak leaf hydrangea. So I'll probably just leave it for now. I've got my fig trees. I was looking at them this morning. This one has really branched out. When I got it, it was like a little, just a little piece here, and then this part was a lot. I mean, it was big. It was probably about up to here, I guess. But it has really branched out and grown. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4 fig trees here. I need to figure out what to do with them over the winter. And then I have this aster. I thought when it started, that truck was so loud, but I thought when it started blooming that it would start like be completely exploding and bloom soon, but it's taken longer than I thought. And this is my rhubarb. I think they just don't like the heat very much. This one obviously has a bunch of new growth. But I got this from a friend who grew up with rhubarb, and her mother had given her some when she was moving from her childhood home. But she was having trouble keeping it alive in pots, and so she brought that for me. Now we're on this other side of the fence from earlier. There are so many baby red buds here. These black-eyed Susans are all past their prime, and I didn't do a good job of cutting them back to try to get a second flush. I should probably, actually today might be a good day to come try to save some of those seeds. My Sweet William, I didn't end up picking very much of that, and that's kind of going to seed. I have, oh, I didn't see, I saw this calendula, which is why I squatted down here to show you, but then I have this little viola. That's fun. And then I'm gonna take you over there. I said this already when I showed you that large clump, but the garlic chives, I've just never seen so many pollinators on them. I have these random pots here. Oh, I just saw a, I'm forgetting its name right now. Oh, it's under the pot. It's a native lizard, a skink. I think it's what its name is. Okay, so this might have been a poor choice. This is a maypop. So my friend gave me 2 maypop fruit last year, and I didn't think this through completely, but they were really yummy. And I saved the seeds, and I started some from seed. But then he also gave me one plant, or a couple, and this thing has spread so much. And you know how I let my watermelon take all over? So I might be in trouble. I think probably this spring, next spring, I'm gonna need to dig it up super aggressively to keep it in check. But this is what I came over here to show you. I have, let me see, oh, there's tons, not tons, but there's the maypops, the fruit, passion fruit. I don't know what they're called. But there's 6 maybe that I can see. And there's lots. Oh, look at this little teeny baby here. Is that focusing? Oh. No, it doesn't look like, there's just still a couple that are not fully open. I wonder if they, oh, this one is more open. Oh, and look at this fellow. He just came out of, oh, that was fun to see him go over the, oh, there's another fruit. To see him go over the flower. Oh, there's another fruit there too. So next year, I'm hoping for this to be growing more on the trellis. Oh, there's a fritillary caterpillar. I don't know. They like violets. I don't know if he's eating eating that or not. So I can't think if there's, oh, this I do want to show. This hydrangea here. My husband pulled this up when he was helpfully doing some weeding. It was probably the branches were like 4 or 5 feet long. It was the middle of August. So I transplanted it there, cut off the long branches so that I cut off the long branches so that it could concentrate its energy into the root production. These 2 hydrangeas are ones that I moved. They were on the corner of the house and I had them protected by like a ring of fence, but I wanted them to have more room to grow. This is my Trader Joe's hydrangea. This hydrangea, you can mostly see the ferns, but this guy had been unprotected, and between the deer and the lawnmower, it just kept getting hammered. But I think he looks super, I think he's gonna be super happy here. So I think that's what I have to show you today. It's August 27th, 2026. All this area has been kind of like storage area, but I'm hoping that next year I'll be able to kind of use that for growing. So we'll see. Clearly, if I let watermelon take over most of my garden, I need more space. Maybe I just need to be more disciplined, but we'll see. I realized I did not want to end showing you my junky part of the garden, so I'm gonna end with this happy little sunflower. Happy day!